First of all, my name is Huang Hun. I am from Singapore, National University of Singapore, and I'm co-president with Nancy Chick at ISSOTL. So hello, and for me, a very good evening to all participants of ISSOTL Connect 2021. Thank you for being here with me this evening. On behalf of all of us, at ISSOTL Board of Directors, I extend our warmest welcome to all of you in Europe. And sounds from what Katerina says, it has got to be a very warm welcome. She suffered from -30 degrees. If you're already an ISSOTL member, fantastic. And thank you so much for your support. If you're still thinking of being part of ISSOTL in the near future, please drop me a note, drop Ria, Claire a note at your soonest convenience, and we'd love to hear from you. So let me share screen at this point because I would like you to be able to eyeball some important information and messages from the ISSOTL board. So give me a minute to share screen. I need to peek under because I can't see some of the, yeah, here it is. Okay, I think you should be able to see my slides. Okay, thank you, Ria, for that feedback. Okay, so first of all, ISSOTL Connect 2021 is our way of connecting virtually with all members and future members to establish ties and to connect once again with colleagues in SOTL, teaching and learning. We hope that through online events like ISSOTL Connect 2021, we can collectively ease the isolation and bridge the distances we have all experienced throughout the past year and are still experiencing today. Now, here is the ISSOTL mission, particularly for the benefits of newcomers. You can read details at leisure on our website at issotl.com. But let me just say that ISSOTL serves as a scholarly platform for faculty, full or part-time, staff, and students. Every person who is an educator is precious to us at ISSOTL. We do particularly want to reach out to students and emerging SOTL scholars because we embrace students and emerging scholars as the next generation of SOTL scholars and leaders who will carry on the important work of education through classroom practice, through SOTL scholarship and leadership work. We urge participants who are currently students to please look us up either through a direct email to one of us or visit our website to check out how you wish to be engaged. Here are the important questions that guide our work on the ISSOTL board. We regularly seek to find ways to bring diverse voices into our conversations about education and about SOTL. We definitely want to increase the diversity of representation. And by representation, we don't just mean geographical location, but also cultural perspectives, positionality, the diverse range of academic disciplines, academic identities, and viewpoints. We want to enable diversity at our table so that everyone gains from learning from the varied ways of being and the different ways of knowing. You may recognize some names on the ISSOTL Board of Directors. We have 4 key regions represented on the board: the US, Canada, Europe, and Asia Pacific. I know all of you in Europe have been doing really excellent work for a long time now, and some of you are regular participants at EuroSOTL and at ISSOTL too. I have also learned from good colleagues like Katerina that the way European scholars think about the S in SOTL, about scholarship, differs in meaning from those of us who operate in English. There is so much Asia practitioners like me can learn from you. So we want to extend this map further and reach out especially to even more voices like yours and voices from Asia, from the ASEAN region, from India, from Middle East, South America, Africa, Europe, so that our sort of work can benefit from the different knowledge perspectives and practices from around the world. Now, this slide is on the brief history of ISSOTL. This is just a snapshot of a longer narrative that you can find on the ISSOTL site. We do hope you will take a minute to read about how we began as a society 2 decades ago, starting with a small group of passionate educators who began with a simple concept to enable us to build up the professional society that we are today. As you can see on this membership slide, we already enjoy membership representation from across 16 countries. We welcome many more to join us, especially countries in the Asia and European regions. If you're not represented in this membership map, you can enrich us further by joining hands with us. Come in and help us do the important work of ISSOTL, teaching and learning from different perspectives. This slide gives you a sense of how we have recently reorganized the way we work as the society expanded in size and our work got more complex. We adopt a many hands approach within each of the 4 major committees you see on the screen: advocacy, convenings, publications, and recognition. You can again read about what each of these committees do at our website at your own time, though we can answer questions at this session if somebody wants to talk about these particular committees. But I just want you to know that we call for members to serve in all these committees regularly. So please consider joining us as a member and definitely consider stepping into these committees to help with outreach, mentoring other junior scholars, organize events like this one, work with the different publication platforms, and importantly, help us to think about how good work can be appropriately recognized. I'm sure you know about our journal, the ISSOTL Journal, Teaching, Learning, Inquiry, or TLI. This journal has come a long way since its inception in 2012, and now 8 years on, continues to be developed as a collegial scholarly platform for knowledge exchange. Our 2 editors, Katarina Martinsson from Sweden and Kelly Strum from the USA, are our leaders on this journal right now, and Katarina is on this particular Zoom this evening. So anybody with questions about the journal, she would be able to answer that. A signature event of ISSOTL is the highly anticipated annual conference. Here you see where we have brought our conference series over the years. The last time we met at the physical conference site was Atlanta, 2019. This pandemic has sadly prevented us from doing our 2020 conference at a physical location. And this 2020 conference cancellation is just one reason why we are meeting everyone online today in this ISSOTL Connect 2021 event. Now this slide summarizes for you what will be available in the next 3 days. Please look out and tune in to the video recordings and get on Zoom for the office hours by our ISSOTL fellows, all planned for you. The 3 themes of ISSOTL Connect are diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice in ISSOTL, ISSOTL in COVID times and beyond, and ISSOTL partnerships. These are all on video that will be streamed on YouTube at the times reflected in the program. Now, this is a very important slide. I want to share this really good news. The ISSOTL conference will be back very soon, and it will be an experiment that our host from Perth, Australia, will be walking through with us at ISSOTL. Yes, we would like to share with you today ISSOTL's first virtual conference to be hosted by Perth on the theme of sustainable education through SSOTL, practices and cultures in October 26th to 29th, 2021. Please look out for the call for proposals in the middle of March, March 15, and plan your participation for this much awaited event. Now, this is how you can get involved in ISSOTL if you're a member, and if you're not a member, join us as a member and come on board. When you're ready, please come and visit our website and go to the Get Involved page and find your most comfortable level of engagement. You can connect with us anytime by email through our regional vice presidents, Claire and Ria. They will be speaking to you next, and they will be good contact points. Finally, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to our organizing committee members, Sophia, Andrea, Mel, Britt, and Shannon. This team and many colleagues who worked behind the scenes have volunteered hours of time and sacrificed a lot of rest in the past few months, just so that we can all connect today and in the days to come. This indeed is the ISSOTL spirit from my perspective. We run on passion alone and volunteer time, and we also work well together through a huge dose of collegiality. So let me now unshare the screen and get to see your faces again. Allow me one final statement. Come join us if you're not already in ISSOTL, and if you are already a member, continue to engage us actively as your schedule allows you from your day job. We need as many different voices as we can gather at our table to be part of the important conversations about education and about SSOTL. So I hope to have the privilege to be able to connect with you soon. So take care, and over to our regional VPs, Ria and Claire. Ladies, I'm going to put my email on the chat in case anybody wants to contact me directly.
Thanks a lot, Hwang Hoon. I don't know if we have just a few minutes, if there are any questions for the talk that Hwang Hoon just gave. Any questions of how to engage? It's crystal clear, nice. So Claire, how about I'm sharing our slides now, and then we will just, try to not talk both at the same time, but let's see how we can manage that, right?
Yes, let's have a go.
So this is visible to all of you now. A slideshow saying welcome to the European time zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so welcome. And off we go. So that's you, Claire.
Yes. So welcome everybody, and thanks again, Hwang Hoon, for your great introduction to this session. If you've been to a ISSOTL conference before, you'll know that we are absolutely keen on building communities, as Hwang Hoon's already said. So we usually use this introduction session to get to know each other So Rhea and I will give a little bit more information, and then our plan is for you to have some time in smaller groups, hopefully. I'm thinking maybe either 2 or 3 groups, Rhea, and then we can get to know you a little bit better. My goal in any of these sessions is to listen more than I talk. So I will be very brief, and hopefully we can hear your thoughts as we go forwards. So I'm one of the European Vice Presidents. I'm based in Manchester in the UK at Manchester Metropolitan University. I am a Professor of Higher Education. So my research and my passion is exploring how we can offer the best possible student experience across the university, be that in terms of student support or teaching and learning, or obviously ISSOTL. I'm also a faculty head of education. So I'm strategic lead for the Faculty of Health, Psychology and Social Care at the university in terms of education. And Rhea, I'm going to pass over to you now.
Thank you. Yeah, so my name is Rhea Troelsen, and I am head of our Center for Teaching and Learning at the University of Southern Denmark, which is in Denmark. And what we do at my center is actually we do faculty development activities for all our teachers and those involved in teaching across the university. And I've been involved in the ISSOTL work for some years, 4 I think, being a member of the board and as a European vice president together with Claire, and we usually call ourselves the dynamic duo. At least we are a duo. Sometimes we're more dynamic than other times. And also I've been participating in these ISSOTL conferences and other activities, and I can very clearly promote all the ISSOTL conferences, and now also this Connect, which I think is a excellent way for us interested in SOTL and doing SOTL work to connect and to inspire each other and also to learn from each other. So the rest of, we are a rather large board of the ISSOTL, and we won't go through who's otherwise in the board, but you can see on these links, you can learn more from the board members and also how to get involved, but Hwang Hoon has already talked about that. Is it all right for you, Claire, that I move on here?
Yes, good, thank you.
Because we would like to take the opportunity just to a very brief information of how to navigate the conference or the Connect thing. I hope that you all have been receiving an email from the ISSOTL Connect team saying that you are now able to log on to the YouTube channel where things are going on, and that you also have noticed the website of the ISSOTL Connect, and that is of course when you go into the issotl.com web page and then find the events, and then you will see all the program. And I've just made some screenshots here from the program. So the ISSOTL Connect event here, we have a range of recorded presentations because obviously being an international event, it's hard to do live things, but they will do that in person. I'm looking very much forward to how to do that. I think it'll be fantastic in the autumn, or at least the European autumn times in October in Perth. But this time we are going to handle the global and different time zones by recording the presentations. And you see we have the different clusters around the diversity, equity and inclusion and justice in and through SOTL coming up here. We also have yeah, both today and tomorrow. Then we also have office hours, where Ruth and Marian are going to do the office hours later today. But you can also join the office hours in other time zones. And tomorrow there will be office hours as well. And then you see, today was the cluster 1 about the diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. Then we have a cluster 2 on SOTL in COVID times and beyond. And then we have a cluster on SOTL partnerships. So all these recorded presentations will appear at the YouTube channel, and you will also have the possibility to engage in some conversations by using the Twitter account. And then there is a closing session on Friday. Again, like this, a live wrapping up, and the time is the same, 10 a.m. London time and 11 a.m. Denmark time, and we'll be seeing each other there again live, hopefully. So just a very brief introduction to how to navigate. So it's both some recorded things that you can see whenever you have the time to it. And then we have these fixed elements, office hours and wrapping up sessions where we can experience the same at the same time. Yeah, Claire. So we thought that, so we hope that the output of this ISSOTL Connect event will help you get inspired, enlightened, engaged, hopefully amused, at least connected. That's the whole objective, or the intended learning outcome of this event. And as Claire already said, we will be exemplary. We hope that this event will be a driver for us to be even more connected. So why not start now? Let's make a good start. That well, I suggested groups of 3, but I'll think of perhaps larger groups. And some minutes in smaller groups to share your name, where you're from institution-wise and country-wise, and then share your experiences of perhaps attending previous ISSOTL events, or SOTL events, perhaps Euro SOTL events or some other SOTL events, and also to present what you are interested in or doing right now in a SOTL perspective. Would you like to add to that, Claire?
Just 2 things, because I think you did that very well.
Thank you.
Before we go into groups, I was hoping that if Ria takes her slides down, if everybody would put their camera on, who is willing, for a moment, I would love to take a photograph. We will then share on Twitter, because again, we're connecting hopefully with a global community. And then hopefully you can go back to your groups and tell us a little bit more about yourselves. I also want to let you know that although you may know that we've postponed EuroSOTL for a year, we are hosting an event of live sessions, and further details are now in the chat box. So I'm going to take the photo now. So if anybody else who's willing to put their camera on would like to do so, and please give me your biggest smiles. Perfect. Thank you so much. So Ria, I think you're going to put us into groups. Is that correct?
Yeah, and just to repeat again, we would like for you to share where you're from and how are you interested in SOTL and what are you doing actually. And we'll give you around 10 minutes, right, Claire?
Yes, perfect. Yes.
So. Hello to all of you.
Hey, we're first ones back.
Yeah. Did you have some good sharing experiences?
We did, yes. They're
Hey.
still talking, actually. I pressed the wrong button and came back too early.
That's okay. It's easy to press the wrong button here. I think the guys in room 3, yeah, and that is your room.
Yeah, they're my guys, yeah.
Yeah. They are perhaps a very talkative group, or
They're probably talking about me because I disappeared.
Oh, they'll be back now. Yeah, so welcome back. We have some slides, Claire, saying, do you have any questions? But I won't put that on because I like to have the complete overview of you. So if I'm just, you will have to have my word on it that I have some slides saying, are there any questions? So did the talking in your groups kind of lead to comments or questions that you would like to ask Claire and I, or Huang Hun, or just out in the open?
I'll just, yes. Please either add something to the chat or let us know. Ria, for me, it was absolutely lovely to reconnect with people that I've met before and meet new friends. So it was a really useful 10 minutes. I can see, I think we have one hand up, Ria.
Oh, yeah, Tatiana.
Oh,
yeah.
2.
And then Clive afterwards, yeah.
Yes.
I was wondering, because I saw an interesting comment on the slide of the general presentation when we started, and that there is also one of the goals of the association is also to relate it to community. So the relation is with the teaching and learning, but also with community. Can you elaborate a bit on that goal, maybe? How do you see that?
Would you take on that, Huang Hun, or should we? I guess perhaps Huang Hun is, unless it's delayed, I think. Well, on society, I think the main reason for that word is that we also see the subtle communities as a society, but in general on what our different teaching and learning institutions have in connection with society. So all in all, I see the ISSOTL society to be as broad as the notion of SOTL in itself, because in that you also have the breadth of opportunities for engaging both with your students, both with your colleagues, and also with communities or societies. I don't know if you have something to add to that, Claire.
Yes, I agree with what you said there. For us as well, and clearly I am promoting ISSOTL. Very much the theme of the ISSOTL conference is about building communities, and that will form a major theme in our virtual event this year, and then when we will be absolutely looking forward to welcoming everybody to Manchester in June 2022. I see all SOTL as communities. We are communities with our learners, with our colleagues, both within our institution and nationally and internationally. Very much for me, it is about listening and connecting and growing together as a community. I have to say, I think I've been involved with ISSOTL now for at least 8 years, and it's been absolutely invaluable for making connections across the globe. So hence why I'm European Vice President, because I think it's such a valuable society. So Wong Hoon, I don't know if President, you would like to add anything, or if we have unfortunately lost you.
Well, no, you haven't lost me. It's just that I muted myself and I forgot to unmute. I think you are right, except that I, as an individual ISSOTL person sitting here in Singapore, in Asia, I think lately I've been wondering about this whole term community, because I think the dominant meaning of a term like that tend to be positive and inclusive and at some level homogeneous. Thinking in terms of community of scholars, of ISSOTL practitioners, like we are one big family, which I strongly believe we are. But sitting at the edge, outside dominant communities, so for example, English-speaking ISSOTL scholars, although I'm English-speaking, I am not recognized as English-speaking. And therefore, I find myself problematizing the idea of community as perhaps brushing aside important differences, important distinctions between our practices, between the types of students we reach out to, and the kinds of cultural practices that need to be taken into consideration. So I just want to add that, not to be divisive, you know, it's not about divisions, it's about recognizing that there's heterogeneity and multiplicity amid a term like, an all-inclusive term like community.
Did that answer your question, Tatiana? Super. Clive, you had a comment or a hand?
Mine was really just a procedural question about the interactions around the conference papers or videos. And I was just wondering about the thinking behind using Twitter as the interaction medium rather than have some, like now, synchronous. We had a wonderful little group of 4 people, didn't need to be hundreds of people, but giving up completely on synchronous, I felt a little bit disappointed, to be honest, at that.
Well, I was thinking that it's a little bit of somewhat double-edged in a way. When we were calling for proposals, when the organizing committee were calling for proposals, we were thinking that perhaps we should, or at least I raised the suggestion that we should accommodate different forms of expression. So if somebody prefers a poster, or if somebody prefers a video, or if somebody prefers a live talk. But I think sometimes when you are trying to pull together an event at relatively short notice, there's a tendency to go towards a certain format that is friendliest to the organizing. So the Twitter part, being outside the North American sphere, which I kind of associate Twitter with, I don't actually use Twitter at all. And so I feel very left out when people put their conversations on Twitter. But I was kind of lost in, as an individual, proposing an alternative. I don't know what the alternative is for us in Asia that might be Twitter-like. I'm not very good with technology. That's the other problem. So, so yes, I do recognize what you're saying. It is something that rang true for me too. But yeah. But then I guess let me quickly add that the good thing about video is that it can stay there for quite some time. So I feel less pressure to immediately access it, and hope that I can catch up with it in the days ahead or in the week ahead. Yeah, but certainly I'll share this feedback back with the board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Clive.
Yeah,
all feedback is good.
Yeah. Sue, you have a comment to that, perhaps?
Yeah. I wondered if the I'm still finding my way around what's going to be available, but if it's on the YouTube channel, there is a commenting facility on the YouTube channel as well. So there's nothing to stop us putting comments, or I'm assuming, unless they've been disabled in some way, there's nothing to stop us putting comments underneath the YouTube and having a conversation underneath the YouTube recordings. I'm assuming, I don't know, because I haven't been in and had a look yet. But that might be one way of including more people and actually giving more considered thought to some of the things, rather than just what can sometimes be a bit performative on Twitter. I think in the live situations in ISSOTL conferences, I found Twitter very helpful, because whilst somebody's talking, we can be having a conversation and reminding each other of, oh yes, then there's this resource and there's that resource, and that reminds me of so-and-so, and that works really well in that live situation. But in the asynchronous situation, I think there's time to be a little bit more considered, and maybe the YouTube comments is one way to do it.
Many thanks, Sue. I think that's a good suggestion. I'm personally using Twitter because I find it incredibly useful for connecting people, and I think Sue and I actually originally connected on Twitter, and I found it always very active at ISSOTL conferences. Clive, the only other reason we've done pre-recorded sessions is because we've tried to be as inclusive as possible, and we're well aware that everybody's broadband may not be at an optimum, and being able to sort of access a synchronous session is sometimes difficult depending on your bandwidth, and hopefully then that people can connect rather than just in one particular time slot. I am conscious that we're coming to the end of the session, Ria. I don't know, I can't see any other hands up. Can you?
No, but I would say that thank you for your feedback, Clive. We're definitely going to take that in, yes, and then to bring it on to the virtual conference in October, from Perth, because that is maybe one of the things that we can develop from this Connect event, and then to the event in October.
Yeah.
So thank you, Clive.
I just say I wasn't intending to be critical of the video. I think the video is an excellent idea. It was more the discussion than the video.
And I hear you as also, a cadeau to your small group just talking right now. So those of you who are in group with Clive, you can just pat your shoulder to that because he liked you. Yeah. And as you said, Claire, we are closing into our the hour that we've put in for this part. I'm going to show you my slides anyway now. And they are, oh, not that one.
There is a question about whether the videos on YouTube are online yet. If you look at the ISSOTL Connect schedule, it is actually signaled at each segment which set of videos will go up on which day at which time onwards. So yeah, there's a timing for the streaming.
Yeah, I've actually been just quickly checked, sorry, after my comments on YouTube. So, and there is stuff there at the moment.
Right.
Okay.
There will be more being put up as the day goes by.
Yeah, and I can tell that the Thursday recorded presentations will be available already from 5 a.m. So for all you, and it doesn't include me, all you A people out there, you can start, just binging, isn't it called that? Presentations, ISSOTL presentation already from 5 a.m. in the morning. So go ahead.
Gather the family and get some popcorn as well.
Exactly. But I think that you can also access them just 5:15 if you're not that kind of a morning person. So just to wrap this welcoming session up, it's go ahead, gather your family, make popcorn, get the most out of all the possibilities available for us, both in terms of recorded presentations and also the office hours. And we hope very much that you will have a fruitful ISSOTL 21 Connect. And we hope to see you again on Friday at 10 a.m. London time, Greenwich Mean Time, to a closing live session again, where we can talk about our experiences, whether there was need for popcorn or anything else. So thank you very much for this welcoming session, or being here together with us and joining us in our breakout sessions, talking with each other. And we hope that you can get inspired and inspire other people during these days, and then we'll see you again in Friday. I'll stop here so I can tell whether you smile. Yeah, you do. Nice.
Bye, thank you.
See you.
All right. Ria, don't lock me out yet. I need to save things. I'm going to save the chat so that we capture whatever feedback we might have gotten here. And
bye-bye, Chris.
Bye-bye, Chris. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Have a good evening.
You too. Have a great night.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Okay, I have copied the chat, so we are fine now. So thanks, ladies, for your help today, and have a nice rest of the day for yourselves. And I'm going to remember we have to end the meeting for all. In the earlier segment, I just left the meeting and I didn't end it for all, so there were 4 hours of blank recording.
Oh, and then what about the recording then?
No, the recording, it will be, I don't know, it's done, so don't worry about that.
But okay.
That's what AOR told me. Yeah.
Okay.
I just have to save the chat. All right.
Super.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.